All right, let's have a quick look at what was announced for this year's Cannes Film Festival. First up, we already knew what the opening film is going to be. Quentin Depardieu. Well, I can't say his name, is what I'm getting at. He's most known probably for Rubber the Killer Wheel, and had another film played in Venice last year. That's the only and first film I've seen of his. And his film Le Deuxième Acte will be opening the festival. It's a short film. We already also had Megalopolis announced, the latest from Francis Ford Coppola, a film 20 years in the making where all of his money went into it. We have an incredibly stacked cast. I mean, just take a snapshot of this list. Is actually crazy. So that's what's coming out. Let's just watch list that because I definitely have to. Sorrentini has a new film, the Italian filmmaker that had a film playing, I think, at Venice, Hand of God. Again, also not too familiar with him, but he is an iconic filmmaker that has a new film. Then The Apprentice, the movie about Trump from the Holy Spider director. This film also played in Venice and I think won Best Lead Actress for Sayer Amer Ebrahimi, who was also in Shada, was an Australian project. Datami is another great film that played in Venice that's coming out soon. But the next film, The Apprentice from Ali Abbasi, will be in the competition as well. And the competition is quite stacked. I'm not too familiar with Motel Destino, but Paul Schrader has O Canada with Richard Gere, Jacob Elordi, and Uma Thurman in the category. Then we also got Barry Keoghan alongside Franz Rogowski from last year's Passages, and probably other people know him from A Hidden Life, but he also has great German roles that he plays in these two. It's from Andrea Arnold, and this image has just been iconic. It isn't a bird scooter, but that would just be perfect. Really keen for this one. Then Emilia Perez, Zoe Saldana, and Selena Gomez. And this is apparently, I think, a musical from what they said. David Cronenberg has a new one called The Shrouds. Then we also have the anthology movie from Yorgos Lanthimos, Kinds of Kindness, with Emma Stone, Jesse Plemons, Willem Dafoe, Margaret Qualley, Hong Chow, Joe Owen, Mamadou Adi, and Hunter Schafer. So very excited for this film as well. The Substance is playing in competition, not too familiar with that, but also Margaret Qualley is in this one as well, Dennis Quaid. So I'll have to look up what this filmmaker has done before. Then Sean Baker has Anora playing at the festival. He's always a very interesting filmmaker. I have to really watch more of him. I've only seen Red Rocket and I think some of his, if he did TV, I've seen some of that, but I need to watch the Florida Project ASAP. Grand Tour, Près des Yeux, Près des Cœurs. This also has a different name that's not on here, but it's something different. Beating Hearts, L'amour ouf. So there's usually like 2 to 3 French films in the competition, but a lot of it is the American productions or filmmakers who have a predominantly English or American cast, but like Lanthimos, Greek. But Beating Hearts is another one that already has like an interesting poster here. Again, not familiar with the director, but I'll be doing a preparation as we get closer to the festival. I've seen some people be excited about this. I've only seen Still Live, and I kind of liked it, but Gian Gianche, probably butchered his name here, but he has a new one called Beating Hearts, or L'amour ouf, Blown by the Winds, which is also Blown in the Tides or something like that, is what it's being called. Limonov, I assume this is going to be, no, it's not a documentary. Again, here I have to familiarize myself a bit with it, but these are the last couple of films playing in competition. This is an Indian project, and Girl with the Needle is also, I think, from a first-time director, from what they said. But that's not true. He made Sweat, which I really enjoyed, from 2020. So I guess I misunderstood that. But I'm actually really keen for The Girl and the Needle then, because Sweat was a great little film. But that's it for competition. Out of competition already announced, we got Furiosa and Mad Max Saga and Horizon American Saga Chapter 1. This one, of course, from George Miller. And this is from Kevin Costner, who had his new film here, part of 2 films, maybe 3, maybe 4. We don't know. But yes, we'll be looking forward to this as well. Then Rumors is another interesting film here, just because Kate Blanchett and Alicia Vikander are in it. More than that, I'll have to see what's up with the 3 directors that did this one. Belle de Gaza, this was shot in Palestine before the most recent attacks. This one, I think, is another documentary. This gun premiere here, jumping ahead, is something that's interesting because Leo Cara was the director of Annette, which also played in Gun, and he's back now with It's Not Me, and starring Léa Seydoux. I'll be interested to see this. I mean, it already looks super weird. And then what else do we got? We got a lot of films in the Gun premiere that I'm do have to read up on a bit more. Another interesting film here in Saint-Regard, which is usually like a first, second, third director. It's supposed to showcase new directors. That's why there's a bunch of people in here who have their first film, which includes Ariane Labed, who's a Greek-French actress who you probably have seen in like The Lobster. She was in Before Midnight, a bunch of movies, including The Souvenir and even Black Mirror, but she's directing her first feature film here with September Says. I think it's set in London, if I remember correctly, or no, one of them was, there was also a comedy set in Marseille that they spent a bunch of time on. I'm forgetting which one that is. But Un Certain Regard is something that, you know, you see these gems and you hopefully get to showcase them once you've seen them. Before then, they don't really bring in a lot of like name recognition, apart from someone who maybe is an actress doing their first feature film as a director. But I will be checking out as many of them as I can. And then finally at the bottom here, we do our La Balconette. That was the one, the raunchy comedy that's set in Marseille by Noémie Merlan, who you probably know from Portrait of a Jeune Fille en Feu or Portrait of a Lady on Fire or Tar and other films. She is really active, similar to Léa Seydoux. She's been popping up in a ton of films. Emmanuelle is another one that she's quite known for, but she also directs. And yeah, this one is her latest. And then we also got Twilight of the Warriors Walled In. I'm not familiar with this Hong Kong director at all, but it seems to be that he has a lot of experience with the action genre. And this, I guess, famous Chinese, I think, no, what is it called? Like Saga or whatever, the Monkey King. Feels like everyone is kind of doing that at the moment because he did, I guess, 3 of those films. But he'll be at the festival with Twilight of the Warriors Walled In. And then lastly, last but not least, Nick Cage will be at the festival. I don't know if he'll be attending, but with The Surfer. And yeah, this one looks interesting. I hated Vivarium. Really, really detested that film. I think it's quite bad. So we'll have to wait and see what The Surfer has to offer. I mean, yeah. That's it for now. They said there's a couple more titles that they'll announce in the coming days. I mean, so far in competition, we do have 19 films minus the one that's premiering the opening. We don't have the closing film. It's likely that that's going to be Inside Out 2 or something else. Pixar, last year we got Elemental for that. That's kind of up in the air, but yes, a very exciting lineup. Follow to get all of the reviews once I'm attending at the festival. I'm also preparing a series of kind of preparing for the fest with films from these filmmakers that is also going to kind of air as I am at the festival, so you can kind of participate and watch alongside, even if you're not able to attend the festival yourself in person. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Check out the Quiet on Set podcast. I do weekly reviews over there, and I'll see you soon.